Hello YouTube. It's Birdo Prey 5 and it's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thomas, again. Now, see, I understand how you're first on Anti-Tracker stream because even I, kind of lay in wait for that one. How you're first on mine boggles my mind, but yes, you win the internet points for Christmas. So congratulations on that. Anti-Tracker, great to see you too. Merry Christmas to everyone. And Thomas says he hears me, which is great because that was the next question I was going to ask. Josh, hello, Merry Christmas, Josh. Damn it, Thomas, do you ever do something other than wait for Anti-Tracker or Bird of Prey to go on? It's a good question. I'm kind of curious myself, but I don't want to, And Thomas Bot says, end your machine. Oh, I hear ya. Yeah, probably the sound is not that great. Let me turn the mic a little. Did the sound quality get any better? Anti-Tracker says must be getting poor reception. I have snow on the screen. Yeah, probably. Maybe open up your monitor and adjust any little dials or resistors in there, doodads, run a level 1 diagnostic. That snow should clear right up. Thomas, Josh says Merry Christmas. Thomas says I'm not always first on Anti-Tracker's day stream. You beat me often. Well, I used to beat you, Thomas. No more. Like I said, I have evolved past the need for being first. It was a recent development, probably due to me going to Warp 10 with Santa last night. But unless I get infected by, what was it, Reginald Barclay's whatever syndrome, and I actually start reversing in evolution, I will be content to just be at Anti-Tracker stream, whether it's first, second, third, as long as it's in the top 5, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. I've moved past the competitiveness to be number 1. Anti-Tracker asks, anyone remember having to hold the TV antenna for good reception? Remember, I still do. No. Yeah, I remember when they were rabbit ears. In fact, it wasn't all that long ago, I guess, but before they dropped analog reception, that when we were up at our Adirondacks country house, because we had no cable television, all we had were a pair of rabbit ears on an old CRT television, and you could only get maybe 2 channels on a good day, 3 if you held the antenna the right way. Yeah, it was not all that long ago. I was holding antennas for reception in the scheme of things. Josh says, Thomas, is Anti-Tracker giving you any Christmas dinner since you live behind the small door in his office? That's a good question. I hope he does throw you some scraps. I just toss the fat and bones at the door. Thomas likes that. Well, as long as he likes it. Thomas says, FYI, anti-tracker, that alien in your video today, there's one in the unification episode. Really funny, but they never helped with the Borg situation, correct? Does anyone remember when you could get TC without cable? Get TC without cable. TV without cable. Yeah, actually, I still have an HD analog antenna set up at my house here now, just for the event that cable goes out, because back in, 2012, when Hurricane Sandy came through New York, although I was lucky we didn't get any water or damage by the house here, our cable was out for like almost 2 weeks. So yeah, I had to go back to analog television just to know what was going on. And of course, I mean, when a natural disaster or something happens, that's kind of when you need TV the most. So yeah, I still keep it as a backup. And it is crazy how much clearer it is than the compressed cable stream. I'm so tempted to cancel cable and just deal with internet and what I can get over the air, but unfortunately there's a couple of channels I really enjoy, like H History Channel and BBC America and Smithsonian Channel, that I don't believe many or any of the streaming deals carry them all. If the day ever came where you could just pick a channel, a basic channel, for $1 or $2 a month and build up your own portfolio, I would love that. But it's never going to happen, because if that were to happen, half the channels would go away because nobody would pay for them. Nobody wants them. They only exist because the corporations bundle them in and force cable companies to take those channels. So if every cable channel had to actually stand on its own, we'd lose probably half the networks that everybody passes over anyway, which I don't think would be the worst thing in the world, but it's not going to happen. Thomas Potts says, my grandmother let me play N64 on a TV with an antenna. Yeah, the old, even older N64, I had the old Sega Master System, which was their 8-bit, the Nintendo NES competitor, and Sega Genesis, and they had those automatic coaxial transfer switches, cable switches, that would, you had to be on channel 3 to play the game. Those were the days, channel 3. There was always a switch between channel 3 and channel 4. I don't know anybody who ever used channel 4. They said like, oh, other places in the country there's a channel 3. I've yet to ever hear of one of those places in the country that had a channel 3. Maybe somebody out there did. But for me, channel 3 was always the for use for VCRs and for video games. Anti-Tracker ditched cable a year ago. Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Sling, and his favorite CBS All Access. He says, Bird of Prey, check out Sling. I gotta check it out again. See, the thing is, and I don't know, maybe you know, Anti-Tracker, since you have it. Do they have one without a sports package? Because I really don't need any money of mine going to ESPN or Fox Sports or any of those channels, because while I respect the people who play the games and I understand lots of people enjoy sports, I mean, I'll watch the Super Bowl, and once in a while I'll follow a baseball team or a football game. I am not a sports fan in general, and I certainly don't need to pay any extra to see extra sports on television. Thomas says, I hear from sources they're launching a Trek information channel called the Trek Transwarp Institute channel. Well, Thomas, I'm going to put that up in the list of rumors. Sure. I'll do a special live stream dedicated to the rumor that my secret source is telling me is happening. Anti-Tracker worked for Comcast for about 14 years. You don't know half of it. The bundles are set by the government. That government, those bastards. They're always got their hands in something. They got their hands in our cable channels. So yes, you can avoid paying for sports channels. Thomas asked Anti-Tracker, since no one asked you, what time are you streaming today? Actually, I did ask him, Thomas, but I did it in Discord, and I didn't tell anybody else, so I would be the first one there. But no, I'm kidding. Let's see if he answers. In Oklahoma, they have OETA, which was on Channel 3 when I was in high school. So, Josh, the first person ever to tell me that they had a Channel 3, I guess Oklahoma. I did not know anybody from Oklahoma at the time, so it's good to know. Thought it was another conspiracy. Anti-Tracker tells Thomas he does not have a set time. Once dinner is done, which should be very soon, we eat, watch a family movie, and then stream. Okay. Do you know what the family movie is today, Anti-Tracker? I assume it's not Die Hard. I hope it's not Bad Santa. I mean, I watch it because my sister likes that movie, but other than it being John Ritter's last performance, I don't like. I do not like that movie. It's not my. I mean, I like comedies, don't get me wrong, but there's just a raunchiness of it a little above and beyond my comfort level. He's watching Trek 5. That would be a great Christmas movie. The search for God. So I suppose that's appropriate. The plan is the original The Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I think Charlie Brown Christmas. Those are nice family movies. I will be watching probably YouTube videos on fancy city skyline cities, because that's apparently what I do when nobody is streaming about science fiction. Thomas Potts, at the moment I have Gettysburg movie on my computer. I have the show, what is this called? Oh, it's one of my favorite shows. Aerial America on the TV. It's on Smithsonian Channel. But I have it on mute. It's beautiful HD footage. They more or less go state by state throughout the country and take beautiful footage of all the different states. And they give you some useful information about the different sites in each state, the history. It's just really, really, I find it nice, calming, educational, and just beautiful to watch. All the great places in the country. Yeah, that's what I've got on in the background. Well, on my forum, which I've spoken about a number of times, one of the Christmas traditions is a thread where everybody says, "What did you get?" Your Christmas loot thread. And everybody posts up everything they've gotten for Christmas. But today, one of the members decided to go in a different direction, and he made a "What did you give?" thread, which is more in the Christmas spirit when you think of it. Better to give than to receive. And I thought it was a nice sentiment. So, of course, not as many people posted to that thread, but I did. The reality of the situation is that in my house, Mom and I decided not to really exchange Christmas gifts this year because, we get what we need when we need it. In the past, you would get me like lottery tickets or something, instant lottery tickets. And though I like doing instant lottery tickets, I recognize they are generally a waste of money. And for her, usually it's Godiva chocolates or flowers or something, while flowers are a waste of money, and she still has plenty of Godiva from her birthday, which was only a couple of weeks ago. Every so often her Keurig coffee maker breaks. So if it's broken, it tends to break right before Christmas as things work out. So I get her like a coffee maker, and we call it a Christmas gift, even though it's technically, we'd be getting it regardless of whether it was Christmas or not. So we just, said no real gifts this year. So the only person I was really buying for was my sister. And my sister is a very particular person. She might one day come on the stream. She is different than me ideologically, politically, in many, many ways. And she has a standing order, and it's rightful because she does have I live in a house. I bought this house before I got sick in 2005. It's not a big house. I mean, New York City, there are very few big houses unless you're a multi-millionaire. But it's a decent sized house for New York. And I have way too much stuff, even for the house. I mean, I've always, not going to say I'm a hoarder per se, but I certainly fill up any room I can. And then after I got sick, 2 or 3 more people moved into the house. after me. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this house. Most of it probably could go to storage if either of us were capable of physically moving things to storage. But the reality is we have a lot of extra rooms in the house, so we just store stuff in the house. So my sister doesn't want to end up in the same way, and I totally get that. So her standing order is, please don't get her anything for her apartment. Okay, fine. But there was this one thing that has some sentimental value. It is, I spoke about it on the live stream the other day. It is a painting called The Rebel Herd by Mario Bordi. And in fact, we'll bring it up. This is the painting, The Rebel Herd. Now this is the actual picture of the painting that was in my Adirondacks house. We grew up there, so for 30 plus years it hung on the wall in my Adirondacks house. After I got sick and people stopped going up to the house and it started getting robbed multiple times a year, I asked my sister to bring the painting back down to the city with her so I could put it up here at home because I missed it. Just a thing from childhood. And so she did. And so now it is, it's now hanging in my home. But I know she liked it too. And I'd been keeping an eye out on eBay ever since I found out what it was called for a good copy of the painting. And literally, I've had this eBay search saved for maybe 2 or 3 years, and there hasn't been any great framed versions that have come up on eBay in that time. There was one, just a paper lithograph, not framed, but it was about 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, an actual framed version similar to what you saw a minute ago came up for sale on eBay. So I went ahead and I purchased it. It was actually in England, and Anti-Tracker, if you're still here, obviously this painting is quite big. It's, I don't know, at least 30 to 32 inches wide and maybe 20 inches tall, and several inches thick. And it came in a box, well packaged and well padded. So by all rights, this should have cost more to ship than that Dr. Doom mask you sent to Alex. But this was coming from England to the US, and it was most definitely heavier. And the cost of shipping from England to the US was only $31.50. So it's like you really got screwed on that Dr. Doom mask. But yeah, so I ordered this thing from eBay. Shipping was only $30 and change. Yes, sadly. And my dog is at the window. Somebody, a little kid, is walking in front of the house. It's okay, Sassy. He can walk. He can walk. He's allowed. Anyway, So it came from England. I got here just a few days ago. We opened it up. It is beautiful, and I didn't even know it at the time. But once my mother saw it, she said, "Oh, it actually matches the decor at my sister's apartment." Why did the snow stop? Why did the snow stop? Anyway, it matches the decor at my sister's apartment. So, so I should be happy. And, okay, the screen's going to get really weird for a minute because I've got to change the video to get the snow back. What will I change it to for the brief second? I want to do something that won't get me banned from YouTube. Here we go. Oh wow, that's awful. That looks awful. Well, there we go. Okay, I'm sorry. I get distracted by things like that. So I was concerned that she would not like it because she has this whole thing about not buying her big things. But I figured if she really didn't like it, I'd get her something else. And we could always send this copy of the painting back up to the Adirondack house next time she goes up. Because I do feel kind of bad taking the painting away from the house. But not terribly bad since nobody's ever up there to enjoy it. But luckily she saw it yesterday and she was actually very happy with it. It passed her test. For her to actually be happy that she got it, I felt quite good. That I know you're all probably thinking, what an idiot! It took him 20 minutes to say he got his sister a painting she liked. But the reality is, I gave her maybe a 50% chance of liking it, and it was good. It was happy. I was happy she was happy, because not often we're both happy for the same things. So did anybody else give anything interesting? I mean, don't get too personal, but, oh, I see Zethon's in the chat. I got something for you, Zethon, if you're still there, by the time I get to the comments. Thomas Spots is also playing Minecraft since he has 2 monitors. Well, that's nice. I used to have 2 monitors when I worked and had a desk. I'm sure had I still been working, I'd been up to like 4 monitors by now. But these days it's just a single laptop monitor. Oh, I'm on the iPad. Well, that works. I mean, it's better than nothing. Much better than nothing. Josh Street says, to Anti-Tracker, why not watch Poppleteen Stole Everything for the Christmas movie? Anti-Tracker, I got a red shirt that I'll be wearing on my stream. Very nice. Is that a Star Trek red shirt or just any old red shirt? Resolute Germ, Merry Christmas, Bird of Prey 5, and everyone else. Merry Christmas, Resolute. Good to see you. Zethon. Without seeing Joe, how can we be sure this is really him? You'll just have to take my word for it, Zethon. I am not... To be perfectly frank, when I do the live streams, I'm usually sitting up in my hospital bed. But due to the fact I still have healing bed sores, I can't, they don't want me sitting up all the time, so for a certain number of hours per day, I am turned on my side in my hospital bed. And since my sister's coming over later, I will be sitting up most of the evening, afternoon. I am turned over on my side now. So it would be quite awkward to be on camera turned on my side. Just the realities of living with bed sores, living out of a hospital bed. So yeah, I'm on my side. So I just decided to go without the live video today. Instead, I put 10 minutes into putting a hat on my animated self and finding some snow to fall in the fish tank. How snow is falling through a fish tank, I don't know. These are questions for another day. Zethon says, I've seen Bird of Prey's house. The basement is more than adequate. Yes, it's got plenty of room for storing stuff. Anti-Tracker says, I have my wife a bottle of sugar-free cinnamon syrup. I got Joshua a stand for his keyboard. Oh, those are nice. Oh, sugar-free cinnamon syrup. Thomas Potts asks, what did you get, Lore? And the tracker says, we both got his daughters a $37.50 gift card for a local trampoline park. And Laura, we gave a McDonald's gift card to pay for some chicken McNuggets. Yeah, it's all for the kids. You know, when the kids, in fact, my mom just said it today, when no one has kids at Christmas, it's just not the same. I don't know. It's just not the same. Thomas said, strange, the stream ended for me. Back now. Anti-Tracker says, I hate you? Who do you hate, Anti-Tracker? Oh, the shipping. Yeah, the shipping. Well, don't hate me. Hate the post office, right? Don't hate the player. Hate the game. That's the saying. Josh Street says, it depends what you say you're sending to England. Well, fencing equipment, I guess, gets a higher postage rate than fine art. Resolute Germ, why are you giving us a Rosenstock test? Actually, Resolute, that terrible picture you saw was actually supposed to be a Ronald Reagan special report from 1980s that I had on my system in the same folder as the snow falling. I just needed to put something up, but yeah, because I had to adjust the snow to make it transparent for the effect of falling over the video behind it, it made the Ronald Reagan video all crazy looking. I wasn't thinking about it. Josh Street says, Bird of Prey, is that your drawing of Anti-Tracker and Mrs. Anti-Tracker? No, it is just, I turned the color down so everything was in black and white, and Anti-Tracker, oh, Darth asks, Anti-Tracker, when you're going live? He says, scroll up and you'll see. But if you didn't scroll up yet, he said a few hours. He's going to eat dinner and then watch a family movie. And then he'll be going live. They'll all be going live later today. The three of them. Josh says we might not get a stream if Anti-Tracker is watching the Portland Trailblazers game tonight. I don't know what the Portland Trailblazers are. I'm not even sure what team they are. What sport. Anti-Tracker says, Darth says to Anti-Tracker, oh, I have a viewer request for you to review The Inner Light. That episode emotionally special to me. It was last episode I watched with my granddad before he passed away. Well, that's a fitting episode, Darth. Resolute, does anyone know where I can get a copy of Santa vs. the Snowman? I'm not sure what that is. Darth says, at Bird of Prey 5, are you doing okay, man? Hope you're doing okay. I'm doing good, Darth. I ended up taking like a midday nap because it's only 2:44 here now. I started the stream about 2 o'clock, and I don't know, about 11:30 I conked out for an hour and a half or so. And when I woke up, I was really just out of it. It took me a while to wake up. But I figured going live would help. It gets me moving a bit. Not physically, mentally. Josh Street says, this year is another making Sandman and Santa's in shorts. Yeah, that accent pops up every now and then. Resolute Germ, Trailblazers are basketball. Okay, well, I honestly am. Basketball is probably, though I don't like any sports, baseball and football, I certainly like better than hockey and basketball. The first two I can watch. The second two I do not. Inner Light was a great episode, and I don't forget who asked, but I am still planning on reviewing the episode where Worf gets paralyzed. It is on my list of things to do, not this week, but soon. Thomas says hockey is the best sport in all caps, so you know he's serious. I've been to one hockey game in my life. The home team lost, but since the home team was the Islanders, I shouldn't have been so surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was going more for the friends and the fun than anything else. But I don't know. Honestly, I can't follow hockey. I don't know any of the rules. Like, I don't know. Just not. Darth Raven, you missed my message to you, Bird. You're almost as bad as Anti-Tracker. The message you said, are you doing okay? Man, hope you're doing okay. Oh, There's the second message. We had the flute music played at the funeral. The ending scene now breaks me into a blubbering bitch. Oh, well, it's not a bitch to be sad that somebody you love passed away. It's not weakness, Darth. That is just emotion. It's what it is to be human. We can't all be cold Vulcans, emotionless like Zethon. You want to see Zethon get worked up? Are you still here, Zethon? I got something for you. Zethon and I are kind of like Anti-Tracker and Lore Reloaded, except that we don't live 10 minutes away from each other. But in terms of picking on each other, we do. So, yeah. Apparently, certain freedom-minded Americans have taken to blocking Tesla chargers with their big American SUVs and pickup trucks to prevent people with their all-electric Teslas from charging their batteries. Apparently this is becoming a thing that all the Tesla people go on Reddit and complain about to themselves. They call it icing because that they have to have this fancy language, because ICE stands for internal combustion engine. You know, we're all icers unless we have a Tesla. We're not as good as them. We're destroying the world, unlike them with their all-electric cars, but they don't want to talk about how the batteries are made and all the rare earth elements and all the strip mining and all the ecological devastation that goes into making a Tesla. Those are problems for other countries to deal with, not us. But yeah, I found this funny. Apparently, even if you drive a Tesla now, like you weren't, people who drive Teslas have what's called range anxiety, because they're always worried where they're going to get the power from when the battery gets weak. If they're home and they have their house wired to put in a decent charging, because like even a regular house outlet would take like 2 days to charge a Tesla to a full battery strength, I'm told. So like even if you want to charge it in a reasonable time overnight, you need to have like your electricity going to your house upgraded and put in a whole special charging station in your garage that can actually charge the car at a fast enough speed that by the time you wake up in the morning you have a quote unquote full tank of gas equivalent. So yeah, there's some anxiety over how far you can travel, and Tesla charging stations are, I'm not going to say they're few and far between, but they are certainly less prolific than gas stations and things of that nature. So when people block, oh, sassy girl, there's nobody here, baby, just not a couple of people walking past the house. Sassy is such a good guard dog. I mean, she's a beagle, so she can't really do much, but she can definitely let us know when people are passing the house. So anyway, Yeah, this is really upsetting the Tesla people when these people park their pickup trucks and block the charger. And it's a dick move. I can't agree with it. I certainly don't support people doing it, but I have to laugh my ass off when I hear about it, because I can just imagine old Zethon trying to get somewhere and can't do it because somebody parked their Ford F-350 or something across the parking space meant for a Tesla. Yeah. Let's see, did that get Zethon's attention? No, I guess he has left. That's fine. He'll hear it eventually. Thomas Potts says the refs don't know hockey rules. Well, maybe that's why I find it so hard to follow. Santa vs. the Snowman is one of the greatest animated specials ever. The snowman invading Santa's workshop. Hoth style. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'll have to look for it. Anti-Tricker says the rules of hockey are simple. First, the puck is placed in the center of the rink, and then everyone beats the shit out of each other. Yeah, that's my take. Darth says rules of hockey: be Canadian, get drunk. And he asks Anti-Tracker, what movie are you guys watching? These are all questions we asked already, Darth. You can scroll up for that answer as well. Yeah, you got here late, Darth. All the good questions were asked. You better start asking the weird questions, like what color underwear is he wearing today or something. Stuff nobody else wanted to ask. Hockey is like watching an Irish bar fight, but with less rules. Anti-Tracker, well, I am going. Sounds like dinner is about ready. See you guys later. Take care, Anti-Tracker. I hope you enjoy your dinner. Thomas Potts says, see you, Anti-Tracker. Bird of Prey will see your message in about 30 minutes. That was at 2:49. It's now 2:55. Only 6 minutes, Thomas. 6 minutes. I'm getting better. Josh says, have a good day, Anti-Tracker, and tell Mrs. Anti-Tracker and Joshua we said Merry Christmas. Well, if you're around in a few hours, you can tell them yourself, because they will all be streaming when Anti-Tracker goes live after dinner and some other stuff. And Anti-Tracker, this is FYI, Bird of Prey, I left at 2:50. So again, 2:56, I'm 6 minutes behind. Resolute Germs is the carbon footprint of a Tesla off the lot is equal to Challenger after a year of driving. Interesting. Honestly, I don't know the facts on it. I just know that I like to give hell to Tesla drivers and Prius drivers because they think they're doing so much to save the world, when I know the reality is, while they might be doing something, it is a lot less than they think they are. Darth Raven says, Bird, don't say that we didn't expect a worker to open our back door. Molly went vicious against him, tore his pants leg up, and gave him an earful. She would have really hurt him. Well, good for him. Oh, a worker. I was about to say good for her, because I thought you said a thief, a robber, but no, you said a worker. So I guess that's unfortunate. And I see the snow is gone again. It seems like every time I leave the window and come back, the snow is gone. There, it's back. Man, XSplit is just... I love it 90% of the time, but there are some really weird things it does that kind of make it annoying. The other thing that's gone half the time is that little Twitter symbol that rotates next to my name. Like half the time I notice that's missing. Through no fault of my own. I mean, the file is there. I just don't understand why it doesn't pick it up sometimes. Whatever. It's better than nothing. Okay, guys, I promised you a Christmas confession in the title, and you're gonna get one. And I can, even though Mom is in earshot, she is not gonna like this one, but I hope she just understands that no, you don't have to leave. Just don't feel bad and don't start crying or anything. This was years ago. So long before I got sick. I guess I was in my mid-20s sometime. Work was going great. Money was very good. We were having Christmas at my aunt and uncle's in Long Island, like we would often have. It had become the routine. That's where we had Christmas. At the time, Mom and Dad were separated, so Mom was not there at Christmas with us. She was living elsewhere, and it's not that I would never wanted to go there. It's that I literally had anxiety going that way, so I just avoided going there. I would have gone there more often had it been easier, but Christmas, I mean, at my aunt and uncle's house would be at least 20, probably 20 people. Friends and family, not really friends of mine, but friends of the family, cousins, aunts, uncles, great aunts, great uncles, other cousins, second cousins, in-laws of my aunt and of my uncle, all different people, their friends. It was, and my cousins were growing up. They were still young at the time. They were teenagers. Some were younger at some point, obviously. And my sister would be there. My dad would be there. My aunt, my uncle, my grandmother, my other aunt, my oldest of the younger cousins, 3 or 4 other cousins, and tons of food, just, it was a very festive atmosphere. But I was never that happy. For a few years in a row, at some point during the night, I would excuse myself. I would drive my car to a park nearby. This is late, not super late at night, but it's pitch black by this time, because by 5 o'clock it's dark out come Christmas time, this part of the country. So by 7, 8 o'clock it's full on night. And I'll be honest, I drove to the park and I'd cry. I'd cry because I felt so lonely. And yet here I was, surrounded by family and friends, but, if you're not with that one special person that makes your life worth living, nothing can really cheer you up. And year after year after year, it was the same thing. And every year I promised myself next year would be different. And no, it never was. Up until the point that I ended up getting sick. And then I couldn't go to Christmas anymore. Christmas came to me for a couple of years in the hospital. But, yeah. Now, I don't cry on Christmas because I'm lonely. It's weird how things change. I look back now at all those Christmases I was literally crying alone in a park at night, and those are the good old days. Those are the good old days. I don't cry on Christmas anymore. In fact, quite happy. It's a sad time of year when you think about people you miss. But at this point, I've been through so much. The family has been through so much that just being here is a win. And I don't know. If you're feeling that lonely, if you find yourself doing those things on Christmas, I'm not going to tell you it's easy, because I know it's not. I'm not going to tell you it's going to get better, because I don't know that it will. But I can tell you you're not alone. You're not alone. No matter how happy and go lucky somebody feels or you think somebody is, it doesn't mean anything. Because you really don't know what they really are thinking about. You don't know what they're doing when you're not seeing them. And, people put on this face because they want other people to think they're happy. And we go on Facebook and we post or Instagram, which I guess the cool people use these days, or Snapchat, whatever. I don't even use Instagram. I just use Facebook because I'm old and I don't care anymore. But we go on social media and we post the best of the best pictures we have. Some people go so far as to Photoshop them, edit them. We put filters on them. We hold selfie sticks at the weirdest of angles to make us look our very best of best. We take pictures of moments that don't at all reflect the honesty and the truth of our lives, but that's what we show the world, and it's easy to forget that that's not real life. As much as it seems like real life, because these are your real friends, these are your real family, what you're seeing online is not real life. And even to a point when you see somebody for the holidays, it's not real life. It is their best foot forward. Very, very few people make no attempt to hide what they're really thinking, what they're really feeling, and it's easy to get lonely in that situation. So just remember that. Yeah, you better look at the comments. Thomas Potts says, just followed you on Twitter. Thanks, Thomas. Honestly, Twitter is more of an afterthought for me. I occasionally post stuff there, but it's not as active as I'd like it to be. Darth Raven says, sounds like you had serious depression. Well, I don't know, Darth. It was sad at the holidays, but other times I was very, very happy. I don't know if it was depression or just life. I'd like to think other people have normal ups and downs. I don't think everybody's always happy, and I certainly wasn't always depressed. It was just something that happened around the holidays. So I honestly don't think it would count as depression, but yeah, it was depressing at times, but whatever. Dart says, Resolute Germ says, that was New York in the 80s. You're lucky to get at Park Alive. No, this wasn't the 80s. I'm 40. I'm 40 this year. So I was 30 when I got sick. So I was in my 20s, which would have been, 2018, 2008 is, say 2009 was when I got sick. So literally like 1999 to 2008 or so. I graduated college in the year 2000. So let's say 2000 through 2008, early 2009. Those were the years, those 10 years, where life was good. And life was good, and I would, Christmases were held in Long Island at my family's house, and it wasn't every year. It was probably more the middle of that time that I had these issues. But yeah, so it was like mid 2000s, and it was a pretty safe area. I wasn't worried at all. Plus, I used to carry things in my Jeep. I might have had a mekhleth under the seat, and nothing would have made me happier than for somebody to, quote unquote, make my day. But yeah, no, I wasn't worried. Plus, I was a big guy. I mean, I still am, but mostly I didn't have to deal with people trying to do anything to me because they were just scared of me. I mean, I was intimidating. I was more intimidating than King Waspinator. Yeah, no, I mean, it was, I never, it was very, very rare I felt for fear for my safety. Darth says, if you met me in person, you would think I'm a really happy person. I laugh, I make others laugh, but at times I feel alone, I feel broken, like there's a piece missing from me. I don't own a photo of me. There are 5 that exist, and I've asked family to delete them with me in them. Well, that's sad, Darth. I have a whole folder of pictures just labeled me. I'm one of my favorite subjects. Hell, I make YouTube videos just featuring me, and I send them to family and friends because they need more of me in their lives. And Darth, you've been on YouTube. I guess not your face. You think you was just your avatar on Skype, but you should do it. You should come on YouTube. Darth, I am the ugliest person on YouTube, okay? Nobody can deny that. When I go live and my face is on the screen and there's that roll of neck fat hanging over my shirt on my I think it's on the right side of the video, but the left side of my body, whatever it is. I mean, Darth, if I can go live on YouTube, anybody can go live on YouTube. I honestly, there is nobody I've seen on YouTube, not that I go out judging people based on their looks, but to be quite honest, I'm quite certain that I am not, my looks are by far the worst on YouTube. I'm starting with a giant disadvantage of physical attractiveness in terms of getting a channel. I mean, when Acid Design, I was scared as hell what Acid Design, because he was the first person I sent photos of my real self to, so he could go ahead and make this animated graphic for my head. And I didn't know what the hell he was going to come up with, but I was happy as heck that he came up with something like what he did that wasn't as god awful as I expected it to be. So yeah, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Thomas Potts. Oh, Commander Ironwolf. Kapla. Commander Ironwolf. And your secret plan to take all of Anti-Tracker's Discord followers. We will keep that to our secret selves. Anti-Tracker has left. He's eating dinner with his family, so we can talk about that. Thomas Potts says, no one mess with Bird of Prey 5. He's in the mob. Shh. Nobody's in the mob. Thomas Potts, Darth says, Thomas, he is the mob. No, Darth. There's no mob. There's no mob. Let's not talk about this. Change the subject. Thomas Potts. I have a mass hatred for myself. I hope that's the beginning of a joke, Thomas. Nobody should have a mass hatred for themselves. I mean, a little amount of hatred, that's probably healthy. I'm kidding. You probably shouldn't have any hatred for yourself. But I would imagine at some point in life, everybody hates themselves for something. It's for how long you hate yourself, and frankly, why. I mean, if you did something really bad, and people do. There are people who do bad things in life. It doesn't mean that they're always going to be a bad person. One of the people I know on my forum that I became very friendly with, and I can tell you as of now, he is a great guy, and you would be lucky to have him as a friend. But the reality is, 30 years ago, when he was a younger guy, he was a violent felon. He beat someone up in the course of a robbery, and he went to jail for it. And he did his time, and he got out. No, this has nothing to do with the mob or mafia. This couldn't be more different. Okay, but I shouldn't have even said that. But trust me, this is real. He went to he went to prison. He did his time. He got out. I don't know, honestly, if he just got scared straight or he found Jesus. I don't think he found Jesus. But whatever happened, he is now a generally nice guy. He got his civil rights restored. It took him years and years, because this was before they started giving back the right to vote like it was like everybody was entitled to it, despite whatever crimes they committed. But he got all of his civil rights back, being a good citizen for so long. And he is a good guy. But if he hates himself for what he did back in the day, I'm not going to say that that's necessarily a bad thing. He probably should hate himself for what he did. He caused another human being a lot of pain, physical pain, that he really didn't have to do. Doesn't make him an evil person. No, it doesn't mean that he shouldn't be alive or anything like that. It just means he did a bad thing, and it's okay if that's the kind of thing you hate yourself over. Then I'm not gonna say you shouldn't, because you probably should hate yourself over that. But if you hate yourself because you're balding, or you hate yourself because you weigh too much, or you hate yourself because you don't have enough Native American blood in you, I have no idea. I'm trying to think why people would hate themselves. Then those are not healthy reasons to hate yourself. But yeah, I'm not going to go out and say nobody should hate themselves ever. That's too big of a thing. There are reasons. Darth says, not my face, only voice. None of you will ever see my face. Well, Darth, I don't know why, like I told you. If I can put my face on YouTube, nobody's going to give you shit for your face. Even if you were like a burn victim, that would be better, because at least you would have an excuse. There's a coolness factor with scars and things that, oh well, he got at them the hard way. Okay, I mean, I don't have a real excuse except that I can't get out of bed much. But yeah, please, Darth, reconsider. You should definitely go live one day with your face, or send a picture out to us. Resolute Germ thinks he can give me a run for his money, and my money in that department. Resolute, I would challenge you to a contest if you're willing to do it. I will find a picture of me and a picture of you, and we can have Anti-Trackers members vote or something, and we'll see, because I'm confident I win or I lose, depending which is the good one. Hail DJ Odyssey, Kapla. DJ Odyssey is back to thinking I'm in the mafia. I know I did not do I didn't do well when I told the story of a friend who went to jail for beating up somebody, but he wasn't a friend at the time. I only knew him later in life. Josh Street, how does being the Godfather work? Well, listen, I'm not the Godfather, but there have been times in my life I've been kind of a head honcho. Okay, I don't want to brag, but I was the first person since the founding of the local fraternity in college that was regent, that's like president, 2 semesters in a row. We had years and years of one semester regents, and I was the first one that was able to get it not only once, but actually won re-election. And I 100% could have had it the third time, but like George Washington, I took myself out of the running because I felt it was more important. I let somebody else take over while I was still in school and could help them and guide them, because it would have been my last semester at college. So yeah, it's good being the head honcho. I had that feeling in college, and funny enough, even though I wasn't by any means head honcho at work, I was kind of like a head honcho. We'll go through that story one day, because my job, at the peak of my job, right when I got sick, I had ridiculous privileges. I had total access to the building. the alarm codes. I had all the security cameras set up. I had access to the security systems. I even had, and that's when you know you are big time, I had the key to the roof. I could get on the roof anytime I wanted. You're laughing. You people are laughing, but I'm telling you, when you have the key to the roof, when you can go on the roof of your building, that you've made it. There is no more treasured key to have in an office building than the key to the roof. You go up on that roof, you go up the roof anytime you want. There's no one else up there, and if there is, you can tell them to get the hell off, because they don't know, why are you up here? Because I have a key, so you get the hell down. But no, I had the key to the roof. I could go look, not that there was much to look for, but yeah. I mean, it was, and basically, I'm not going to say my word was law around the office, because it wasn't 100% law, but man, I could do just about anything. My office, I had a television, I had DirecTV with every channel hooked up to it, under the guise that, hey, I might need to record something. And I had a TV installed in my office. The only other people with a TV in their office were a couple of executives. I had a TV in my office. They installed an air conditioner just for me. I was too goddamn hot. And I'm sorry, but the women in the building, it was the middle of winter, and it was the middle of summer. And the air would go on, the central air would go on, and we're just trying to get the building to like 72 or 73 degrees. And every woman had a portable space heater. It was 100 degrees outside, and they've got a portable space heater on under their desks to the point that they kept blowing out the circuit breaker, which was again another place that I had the key to go to reset, because it would take too long waiting for the building janitor or superintendent to come. But they would blow out the circuit breakers, running their space heaters, with it being 100 degrees outside, and complaining about the cold when the guys are just like, we need to cool this place down because it was too goddamn hot. And I was like, I can't live with this. It was like I had a thermometer on my wall. When it would get to 85, 90, I'd go complain. And finally, they're like, you know what? Your office is next to the server room anyway. They had the guys come in, and since the server room was under constant central air, they just took a vent and they ran it into my office and put it right above my seat, and boom, constant flow of cool air right onto me. So that was the kind of magic that happened at my work. So yeah, it's good to be the king. It's good to be the godfather. It's good to be the head honcho. More or less, it was good to be me. I mean, this is literally what was happening during the working days. And then at Christmas time, I would go to the park and cry, like I said earlier. So no, I wasn't depressed. I certainly wasn't depressed all the time. It was just certain days you realize what's really important. And as important as the key to the roof and having your own central air installed is, in the scheme of things, I wanted more. Thomas Potts, no, not joking about hating himself, and he hasn't done anything bad. Thomas, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's talk about happy things. Well, I hope me telling you about the roof was happy. Josh Strait says, Berto Prey, read my next comment. And then he says, Berto Prey, read my last comment. And then he says, okay, well, the last comment was Berto Prey, read my next comment. And then the next comment is Berto Prey, read my last comment. But then the last comment is read my next comment. And the next comment is read my last comment. Read my last comment, read my next comment, read my last comment, read my last comment, read my last comment, read my next comment, read my last comment, read my next comment, read my last comment, read my next comment. You better delete one of these, Josh. I'm gonna be stuck in a loop. Read my next comment, read my last comment, read my next comment, read my last comment. Read my next comment, read my last comment, 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 read my next comment, read my... Thank you. Read my next comment, and his next comment is now a happy face. He's deleted. Read my next comment. Oh. Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. Oh, and that was Zethon. I think he called just to get me out of the loop. 'Cause then he hung up. Well, Zethon, if that was you calling to get me out of the loop, thank you. But Josh went ahead and broke the loop himself. DJ Odyssey, people wish I would go live go live with my face. Well, you have gone live with your face, DJ. It's the rest of your body that you hide in a pink bunny suit, best I can tell. No, you have gone live without the bunny suit. I take that back. But yeah, people wish. There are people, there are people that go live and nobody thinks twice about what they look like. Darth says, I may do something at Comic-Con. Lol, I'd have less viewers than Spitfire. I don't know who Spitfire is. I mean, I know the airplane, the Spitfire, because my old boss was a big fan of the Spitfire aircraft, and R.J. Mitchell, who is the designer of the Spitfire aircraft. But you say Spitfire like he's a YouTube personality, and I've never heard of him. Josh Street says, no DJ, I wish you didn't go. Give Anti-Tracker the dancing bunny. Yeah, I think we all wish that. The day isn't over. The bunny may go live. Well, DJ, that's good. I will probably be wrapping it up when I get to the end of these comments. So if you're going to get ready to go live, you can start the countdown. Not that you have to wait for me to go off, but I don't want to be presumptuous. But Resolute Germ, can't talk about the mafia stuff. Never know when the FBI is watching. The FBI, the NSA, CIA, the Russians, the Chinese, the North Koreans, the Israelis, they're always watching. They are always listening. Okay? Just assume that they are. Josh Street. Didn't I see something about a catheter? Didn't somebody ask a question about a catheter? Did I skip it? I'm going to just scroll back up real quick because I thought somebody asked about that, and okay, I don't see it. If I missed it, oh, I did miss a comment from Josh. Wait, Berto Prey 5 is a member of the Brotherhood of Mutants from X-Men. No, I don't have any mutant powers, unfortunately. It would be great if I did. I'd really like that one to just like snap my fingers and travel somewhere. That would be cool. Like, I mean, I'm going to assume I'm not alone here because we're all sci-fi fans. So I have to imagine that we've all done this before, right? I'm not alone, right? But you have tried to use the Force before, right? Just in case. I mean, I know I'm like probably 10 minutes behind in comments, but just, if, I mean, I have, I'm going to be completely honest, on occasion, I concentrate very hard on trying to move something with my mind. Do I think it will ever move? I don't know. I can't say yes or no for sure, but it never has. Although, actually, I take it back. As a kid, I had a plastic model of Deep Space Nine, the space station. Plastic Deep Space Nine model kit. I had it hanging from a single piece of fishing line. Sassy girl, please, baby. Oh, somebody else is walking past the house. They're standing on the corner. Anyway, I had this model of Deep Space Nine hanging from a single piece of fishing line in my childhood bedroom, which was the basement of the house at the time. I got the basement as the bedroom, and I would concentrate like hell on just trying to move that station. And I was maybe like 12 years old, 14 years old. And I have to tell you, more than once, if I concentrated hard enough, the station would start to just so slightly spin, like clockwise or counterclockwise, to the point that it kind of spooked me a little, and then I'd stop. Realistically, was it probably air currents? Very, very possible. But to this day, I don't know, but I always suspected. My theory was that shape of the station, its general shape, perhaps, was more conducive to telekinesis than your average, like, TV remote control or spoon or whatever else you might try to move with your mind. If you're ever going to practice telekinesis, I strongly suggest you practice telekinesis on something shaped like the Deep Space Nine space station. I've had, like I said, I had some minor success with that. So back to the other comments. Remember, it's rabbit season. Yeah. Is it duck season or rabbit season? Funny how it always turned out to be duck season, but it is rabbit season. DJ Odyssey, I'm FBI, female body inspector. Yes, first person to ever come up with that things, or as Italian peoples call the FBI, forever bothering Italians. Yep. But DJ Odyssey, how many people do you have whacked at this job? I'm not going to talk about any whackings either way at my job. We'll say none. There were no whacks. Josh Street, is that why you're not allowed near a woman, DJ? DJ says yes. Sadly, yes. DJ Odyssey, so you could push people off the roof? Well, in theory, I could, but I didn't. Yep, sounds like Godfather to me. I don't know. Godfather didn't push anyone off the roof. He didn't do his dirty work. He had people. Other people did his dirty work, I think. You know, I'm going to be another confession here. Christmas confession. I never watched The Godfather in full. Or any of them. I tried, and like they were too long, and I found them boring. I found them boring. I'm sorry. I know that's sacrilege. They may be the greatest movies, people's greatest movies, but I couldn't even get through the first one. Now, other mafia movies that, don't exist, Casino, Bronx Tale, the other one, Goodfellas, and the whole series, The Sopranos. I love those. But The Godfather trilogy, no, I couldn't get through it. Sorry guys, hit the microphone button. So yeah, I've never watched Godfather in full. I will try again sometime. Resolute Germ, was it a riverside property so you could watch the bodies get off and get rid of the evidence? No, it boarded train tracks, which as my current home borders train tracks, so that was kind of weird. Dumpster below, easy haul off. Well, that might be true. He's stuck. Oh, are we that far behind? Bird of Prey is an AI stuck in a loop. Josh Street, did I break Bird of Prey? You might have, Josh Street. You might have. And with that, Thomas Potts said he had to go. See you later. I wondered how many people I lost in that loop. Take care, Thomas, if you hear this later. Again, Merry Christmas. Thanks for stopping by. And don't hate yourself, man. Don't hate yourself. I'm not going to say I love you because I don't. I think you're a good guy, but I don't go that way. But don't hate yourself. Hell, I don't like being live. What do you think I do with the lights turned down? I don't want to think about it, DJ. DJ, so we keep making comments so I won't have to go live. Lol. Only time I have tried to use the force is to make some female's clothes fall off. All I got was a migraine. Well, DJ, that's like starting with a, it's like starting, starting to walk by running a marathon. You got to start small, man. You got to start small. We keep making comments. Yes, I'm not in a loop again. Only thing, again, I've tried to do that too, DJ. All I got was slapped, said Resolute Germ. Josh Street broke my leg when I was 5, jumping off my friend's house trying to fly. Wow, if you really did that, Josh Street, I don't know if I'd say good for you, but I'm impressed. Hold on, guys. I gotta take a pill. I've been streaming for so long, and I forgot to take my Xanax. And I am almost in the middle of a panic attack. So, just hold off 1 minute. I'll get back to your comments. I just need to chew a few pretzels. That's what I take the pill with. Because I find it helps better when I don't take it on an empty stomach. DJ Odyssey says, well, if you got slapped, then you had to be touching. Lol. Well, if nothing else, the slap counts as touching. It is human contact. It's better than nothing. DJ Odyssey says, basement. Someone walking upstairs, lol. Well, here's the deal. When we were young, back in the day when I was a kid, my sister was a kid, and we first moved as a family from an apartment my parents had from when we were born into our first house. I, being the older kid, my parents asked me which bedroom did I want to take. And there were 3 bedrooms. Obviously, the master bedroom was for my parents. But then there were 2 others. A bigger bedroom and a smaller one. But still being a young kid, I picked the smaller one because the smaller one was across the hall from my parents' room. So I felt like, and we used to all sleep with the doors open, so it's not like I ever thought that the doors would be closed at night. I was like, well, this way if I got scared or something, I could just look through and I would see my parents' room and I'd feel better. So I, as I don't know, a 5-year-old or something, made the decision of what bedroom I would have, and that would affect me for a good long part of my childhood. Eventually, I realized I picked poorly. My sister had the much bigger and nicer room. So when I got old enough, and I don't know exactly the reasons, but I got offered if I wanted to move into the basement. And at the time it was unfinished or partially unfinished. We finished it up, and I moved my bedroom down there, and it was amazing. I made it. I called it my empire. Yeah, even then, I called it my empire. I had a constitution, and I brought a couch down there. It was funny. That's another story. But it was like, I mean, people would come down there and hang out. Today you would call it more of a man cave that had a bed. Now, the only light switch, because it was a basement, the only light switch was up the stairs, right at the door where you'd come down the steps. Now, this, I don't know, 14-year-old me at the time decided that I wanted to be able to turn the lights on and off at my bed, because obviously it's late at night, I'm going to sleep, the light's on, I don't want to get out of bed, walk all the way up the steps, not that they were that far, but walk up the steps, shut the light, walk all the way back to bed with the lights off. So I bought kite string and a bunch of little eye hooks, and I had these magnets they were ringed magnets, so they had holes in them, and I made a bunch of eye hooks, and I put the kite string through the eye hooks across my ceiling, up the ceiling of the steps, and then down the wall to the light switch, so that when I pulled down on this magnet that was hanging next to my bed, it would turn the light switch off automatically, and it worked perfectly. And then I was like, hey, if I could turn the light switch off automatically, I bet I could turn it on automatically. So then I did a second set of eye hooks and kite string and a second magnet on the opposite side of my bed. And when I pulled that, it pulled the light switch up. So there I was. I felt I was goddamn genius, because I had figured a way to turn my lights on and off while laying in my bed at the far end of the basement. And to this day, one of my greatest inventions, second only to my vacuum. True story. I wish I had pictures of it. It was long before electronic means to turn lights on and off, and wireless and all those things. Watch Jersey Boys. Jersey Boys, that's the, wasn't that the, I don't know, Broadway show or something? Jersey Boys? Yeah, I heard of it. I saw the things for it. I'm not really a Broadway show type person. Honestly, I've never seen a Broadway show. I've written some plays. I actually written a award-winning play. In fact, they wanted me, that I won a citywide contest, and they wanted me to come down and do something with it, but I had started college at that point, and I was in engineering and not English or playwriting, so unfortunately I never followed up on it. Kind of wish I did, just to see what would have happened, but yeah. DJ, yep, it's an hour for me, but it works. What did I miss? Chief Engineer Mr. Miles came. Call me the Wrench Father. Hail Wrenchmaster. Does his rock tell the time? Yes, it does. The time on the rock is accurate from my location. It is now 3:57 p.m. I will be signing off shortly. So, little late to the party, Mr. Miles, but I hope you go back and listen. There is a serious Christmas confession. Very emotional. Quite a bit of less emotional things. I talk about Christmas gifts I gave. Other people talk about Christmas gifts they gave. Oh, and Zethon is back. I guess he's talking to me again after the Tesla stuff. Hey Joe, what's the value of pi to the 2 billionth digit? Oh, you want me to read all the digits? Yeah, I'll do that, sure. 3.141592.6. That's always where I get stuck. 5, 8, I forget. All I can reliably get to is 3.141592.6. For some reason, it gets very difficult getting past that. Even though I spend considerable time trying to memorize the next group of 3 numbers. DJ Odyssey, puberty hit, so you wanted free space. Indeed, DJ Odyssey, but alas, never got to use it that much. I would have been too lazy for all that. I would have just brought a lamp and put it next to the bed. You know, I did have a lamp next to the bed too. In fact, I had a night table with a lamp built in. I really liked that lamp. I looked for it when I bought my house. I could find no light tables with lamps built in. Yeah. Jersey Boys is about Frankie Valli, but it's also about the mob ties. So it's fiction. I gotcha. 2:57 p.m. here. Now you know how far behind. Well, 4 o'clock. Zethon, Tesla stuff. What did I miss? Oh, Zethon, you missed a little. Well, we already spoke about it ourselves, but I went through this little article about people in SUVs and pickup trucks blocking the Tesla charging lines because all the people with Teslas deserve it. Okay, guys, it's 4 o'clock here. Merry Christmas. Remember what I said to everyone. No matter what, you're not alone. I don't know what that noise is, but it's nothing to worry about. Have a Merry Christmas. I will see you guys, I'm sure, in the next day or two, hopefully, probably live with my face, because I know how much you all love my face. And Kapla, everybody. Kapla and Merry Christmas. I'll call it Happy Kaplamas. Wait. I'm back. Sorry, DJ Odyssey, I know you were ready. I forgot to tell you. Please, everyone, this is a new and upcoming channel. I know most of you people who are here, you're my diehard fans. Probably doesn't apply to you, but for anybody else who might be watching, please like, please subscribe, please hit the bell icon, because I often do live streams, and the only way you're going to get notice of a live stream, or really any video, is if you hit that bell icon. If you somehow don't know how YouTube works, subscribing means nothing. It means something to me, but you're not going to get emails if you don't hit the bell icon. And like, comment, dislike, whatever, but do something. Click things on the video. Click comments. Even if you commented in chat, later leave another comment. Go to an old video and leave a comment. Anything you can do to get video interactions up, it would be much appreciated. I really would like to get to that 1,000 subscribers at some point, and I need your help in doing that. But thank you guys all so much for coming, for listening, and sharing your Christmas with me. I know Anti-Tracker is going live in maybe a couple hours. Doomcock is going live at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, according to his email. So if you're around, I will probably be at those chats, those streams. That's my Christmas this year. So again, Qapla', Merry Christmas, and Happy Qapla'-mas. And DJ Odyssey, I'm not ready for anything. LMAO. Okay, well, no biggie, DJ. Whenever you go on, I will try to get there. Take care. And subscribe. Like, comment. And go to DJ Odyssey. He's gonna go live.